you guys into yet another cipher on Black Thought Live with your man Hiram Akeem. We're making this thing happen in Akron every Tuesday. We want you guys to look for us on Facebook. Check us out at the reporternewspaperonline.com. Don't forget to check out the newspaper too. If you see it in the streets or you see it in the, on the website or whatever, please support the people that's supporting you. That's the reporternewspaperonline.com. Also check us out at blackthoughtlive.blogspot.com, where we put all that knowledge that you can't get in college in there. Speaking about the knowledge you can't get in college, Alexandra360.com, man. Look, we promoting that. That's for, you know, that's our culture. You know, if you're looking for some of that insight, some of that stuff that defines what it takes to be a black man in the wilderness of North America, all of it, and I do mean all of it, from your moral science to the most honorable Elijah Muhammad to even Noble Drew Ali. Everybody's on there. So, you know, that's what you bring your kids to. Check out, get a little of that knowledge that you need, man, and make that thing happen. But look, more importantly, I want to thank you guys for supporting the show. I want to thank brothers like this guy right here for supporting the show. He says, yo, I like what you're doing. I like what's going on, and I like the way it's going down. How can I be a part of it? And I was like, look, the only way you can be a part of it is to be yourself. And what does that mean, to be yourself? This guy is a coach for summer youth football. And as you know, last month we was doing the water campaigning, asking people to help donate and to help facilitate us in giving out water to the much needed cause, football programs, recreational centers, churches, and whatever. We doing that, the Brothers to Brothers organization. And this was one of the original brothers making this thing happen. And he said he wanted to be down, but I thought it was God working, because he is a coach. My man Sash Money, Sean Smith, I call him Sash, but this is Coach. I'm going to call him Coach.
All right.
Okay, Coach, man, introduce yourself. I know I did, but go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right, well, as you have said so eloquently, once I found out what you was doing, I could not deny it. First of all, anything that you're doing positive, I'm in it anyway. But when it affects the youth, you know, that's what I'm into also, then it's doubly I got to be behind it. So when you're talking about water and you're talking about youth and you're talking about summertime, you're talking about heat and getting acclimated to being outdoors in the heat. First thing that young kids need to know is that you have to take care of your body. So you have to properly hydrate yourself. And with the water campaign, wow, that fell right into place. Now this is something that I can take back to practice and tell my kids, look, hey, I was just with one of my friends, a guy that has his own show, and that's exactly what we were talking about. You have to take care of your body, you have to hydrate. So the first thing you notice when you're a coach, the kids are already running around sweating before practice even starts. So by the time they get into practice, the first thing they're gonna ask is, Coach, I want some water.
Soon as they get there.
Soon as they get there. So that's a red flag that goes up. Before you even get started, you're already thirsty. That means you're already on your way to dehydration. So the key is, before you even get out into activity on a hot day or out into the sun, an hour prior, you want to start hydrating yourself.
Fuel up.
You want to fuel up, because you have to take care of your body, because without water, your body will break down and quit on you. And that's what we don't want to happen to any of these kids.
So listen, back when we grew up playing football, ignorance was real.
Ignorance
I mean,
was real.
because the way you talking, you a coach now.
Yes, sir.
Coaching, what's the team you coach?
I coach Akron Titans 5-, 6-, and 7-year-olds.
Right, so you're a coach right now. But you, I'm sure, was a product of the old school mentality like me.
Yes, sir.
You don't need no water, boy. Suck it up.
Yes, sir.
That was ignorant, right? That was ignorant. Lack of knowing. We didn't know any better.
Lack of proper instruction. That was ignorant back then.
Okay, so what do you think changed as far as the intel, the knowledge that was, what changed?
Just times changed. More information on how dehydration affects your body. We used to think you could just suck it up, as you say, and just keep going. But a lot of times we're putting ourselves at harm doing that. So just more information, getting smarter about it, not necessarily caring more about the kids, but just understanding more about the process of, you know, your body, what your body goes through in those rigorous conditions.
Hey man, you know what's dope, man, is that you're a real coach.
Yes, sir.
Hey, yo, man, I seen it on the Facebooklet. I was like, yo, man, God is good, man, because I was checking with the person to help us book these shows and everything, and I was like, I got to get somebody that validates the water campaign, even though I know it's a good cause. Some say a great cause in what we're doing, and they probably taking the initiative to move this program forward. But I needed someone who was out in the trenches,
Yes, sir.
someone who was out there with the youth, making it happen and everything. So I want to thank you first off, bro, for being here, man, to be able to spew your righteous rhetoric. You know what I'm saying? Your proper propaganda, you know what I mean? Your knowledge you can't get in college, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
To people and to the viewers that's watching, man, because these mothers, some fathers,
Right.
but these mothers are sending their kids to be with you.
That's right.
So and you are representing, and you are a generalization for the good, or representing the good, or all that is good about Akron coaching right now. So you're speaking for them.
Yes, sir.
So when these mothers, some fathers, but when these mothers drop their children off, they're dropping them off to somebody like my man, Stash Money, AKA real name is Coach.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes,
So how
sir.
do you feel like that, man, when somebody drop their kids off to be with you for 2 hours at a time? How that make you feel? And you're dealing with the 5-year-olds, man. So go ahead and talk to me about that.
Yes, sir. That's a heck of a responsibility to know that somebody's entrusting their child with you for 2 hours a day, and in our case, for 6 months a year. We have these kids from May all the way to the end of October for 6 months a year. So basically, even when the kid does have a father or the kid is dropped off by their father, you are their father figure for 2 hours a day. You're the authority figure. What you say goes. You either for their good or for their detriment. And I'm never there for their detriment. I don't want to see any kid get hurt in any type of way, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally. I don't want any kid to walk away from my program scarred in any type of way.
So how did you get this mentality, Sash? I've been knowing you for a long time. I knew you as a young man.
Yes, sir.
Now you're a wise man.
Oh,
but
thank
where did you get this mentality from? I know you're a father
Yes,
and
sir.
everything, so they say, some people say practice makes perfect, but I don't believe that. Because if you practice the wrong way, what you gonna do? You're gonna perform the wrong way.
Exactly.
So I believe in perfect practice makes perfect.
Exactly.
Is that what you've been doing?
Yes, sir. I believe perfect practice makes perfect.
That's what's up.
Perfect the art of practice.
Right.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I believe in that too. You have to do everything the proper way, because what you do in practice is what you will take with you
Right.
into the game. So if you practice wrong, you'll play wrong, you get poor results. But when you said I was speaking for all the coaches, that's one thing that I'm very proud of, because being a coach in this day and age, like you were saying, a long time, when we grew up, it was kind of an ignorance about the proper ways to play youth football. You young, scrape it off. That bone a heel.
That's right, that's
that
right.
scrape a heel.
That's right.
You just got to cramp. Just
Right.
suck it up.
Right.
Well, even though our program is part of Pop Warner, the Akron Parent Pee-wees are also part of USA Football, in the same class that I had to take to ensure that we knew proper heads-up tackling and proper hydration. All the coaches from the Akron Parent Pee-wee also attended that class. Was in Canton, Ohio this year.
So you represent that for real. You represent the whole cluster of coaches and
Yes,
everything.
sir. Yes, sir.
Again, man, listen, for those of you who just clicked on or tuned in, or however how you do it, it's my man, Coach Stash Money. One of the good guys, man. One of the good guys. He's been this way for the longest, but we're going to get a topic over a little bit and kind of really get to what me and you usually talk about.
Oh, yes, sir.
And you know what the climate is, and you know the name of the show, Black Thought Live. So we got to get into your thought about what's been going on, or what's going on when it comes to our people
Yes, sir.
here in the wilderness of North America. I just read something. I'm just going, and it's just ironic. It was right here. It says, I can't help but notice how passive these cops are when dealing with white men in the street, and how aggressive they are when dealing with us. Some say it's fear, some say it's hate. Now, I'm going to tell you my thought. After you tell me your thought. How about that?
Okay. Well, my thought is, it's a little of both, but I would say it's probably more fear than hate. I'm one of the type of guys that believe that everybody has some inner good in them somewhere, and not everybody is born hating. Although there are also some people, and I'm not just going to say cops, but there are some people whose whole agenda is hate-driven. But I don't believe most policemen are hate-driven. But fear definitely plays a role in the way that they view African Americans because of the media.
What's that show? I just said the first 40.
First 48.
Oh my
First
God.
48.
Can they go anywhere other than Detroit, Atlanta, New Orleans, and Cleveland?
They might as well call it the chocolate 48.
The chocolate. But just to add on to where you was going and what you were saying, shows like the first 48, I believe is interesting TV.
Yes, sir.
For two different reasons. If you're from those places,
Right.
it kind of it's not entertainment. It's wow.
Right.
That's happening there too. It's wow. I can't believe they go through the same stuff we go through. But if you're not from those type of places, it's entertainment.
Yes, sir.
And it's geared to scare the hell out of you.
Yes, sir.
It's almost like a horror movie. So if you're from the other side of the fence, let's say your name is Brett, okay, and you growing up seeing these images on TV, your dad or whoever is watching this stuff, it's breeding a sense of these people are crazy. And more importantly, Sash, it's breeding fear, like, oh my God, they really crazy.
Yes, sir.
So Brett becomes a cop.
Down the line.
Down the line, he becomes a cop, not because he thinks they're crazy, because he thinks it was cool, my dad was a cop, my uncle a cop, but he's going out there with that mental conditioning that the media has been propagating against our people.
Right.
Or, painting negative imagery of our people. And he's watching it the whole time. He's watching the first 48. He's watching all this wild stuff. So when he get out there doing his duty, or supposedly doing his duty, he's doing it from a conditioned fear perspective. What you got to say about that?
Well, the first thing that I need to say about that is, before he's even allowed to get into a police car to go out there onto the streets, he has to go through some type of training. So my question is not the mentality of that police officer, but the mentality of the system that allows these guys to come off of the street with that background already embedded into them. What is the proper protocol that they're teaching them when you approach a suspect?
I see that, and I'm gonna raise you. I see that, and I'm gonna raise you. If Brett is coming in to the police force,
Right.
and you say it's the system, if the sergeant is once upon a time was little Brett,
Right.
what do you think this current Brett is gonna get? He's gonna get confirmation that, hey, what we saw coming up, as far as the first 48, or back in the day, Bad Boys,
Right.
or whatever these shows are, he's getting confirmation that, it's really like that, because the sergeant, Brett, the sergeant, is still thinking like that.
Right.
So whatever, I didn't mean to cut you off, I just needed to interject.
No. Great points you make. Some accountability has to start at the top. If you got bad apples at the bottom, somebody is in control of those apples. If you
Right.
got bad apples in your bushel at home,
Yeah,
and they're turning all the rest of your apples bad, you're going to go weed out those bad apples.
Right.
Get those bad apples out of there to save the rest of your apples.
right.
So that's not happening.
So, what do you think? Do you think it's going to happen? I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it can happen, because I'm being for real. This is black thought. This is my independent black thought, because the racist power structure that governs this nation daily, and I'm speaking wholeheartedly, that governs this nation daily.
Yes, sir.
We have a lot of microcosms of that in small, minute places,
Right.
like on your job,
Right.
on my job, on her job, on his job, or in the police department, the fire department, the mall, the shoe store. You have little microcosms of that. So if the people that's in power, or that's the management or the ownership, having this mentality, you cannot change it. You got to change at the root of the problem. That means you got to change the leadership, and you can't if Brett's dad owns the thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what the answer is to that, man. What do you think?
I think we're looking at systemic racism. Not always down to the lower levels of little Brett. Little Brett may just have a fear, but it's being backed up by systemic racism, being that they've seen the problem for years and years and years and noticed that there was a problem. But either they turn a blind eye to it, or condone it, or they push that type of activity. You hear about a lot of police departments that have quotas. We need to get our quotas up. We need to get our numbers up. Well, when it's disproportionately the quotas are going against one ethnic minority of people, then that's a race problem. That's not a fear problem anymore. And when it's systemic, like you said, on all levels of government, you got to scratch your head and say, why do I go around always hoping for the better when I can see the real right in front of me?
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
And they're going to let a little twos and fews come through, far as just to say, we ain't like this.
Right.
You know, I'm Michael Jordan. I'm just saying, Michael Jordan, you know what I'm saying? But even him just recently, he came out of the woodwork. Did you know this?
Yeah.
He came out of the little woodwork and was like, I got to say something
Right.
about my people. Now, historically, Michael Jordan ain't never came out of the woodwork and said nothing. Why do you think he finally speaking Sash Money, Coach?
I don't know. That's an interesting,
Yeah.
interesting question. I was listening to actually that conversation on the radio the other day, and some people were saying, is it just to cover his brand, his image? Is he doing something just to cover his image, or is he really consciously aware of what's going on to his black brothers and sisters?
He got to be aware.
I think that I don't know Michael Jordan, never met Michael Jordan, but from what I have researched about Michael Jordan, I don't think he really is invested too much in what's going on to young black and brown and Latinos and black people who buy his products when they kill each other over his shoes and they still cost $200 a pair.
Right.
I don't think he cares too much. But then again, he is an influential African-American figure, so what he says does hold some weight. It's kind of like, is it better late than never? And I say, in the case, if you ever stand up for what's right, it's always better late than never.
Right. I mean, you know, to stand up and say what's right is a good thing. Which brings me to this point, Black Thought Live.
Yes,
That's
sir.
what this whole situation is all about. We bring on people that has a little insight or even a lot of insight like Coach here, and we put them in the forefront. We try to get into their mind, or more importantly, try to get you to see that we think like this. Black Thought Live.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? As you can see, his epidermis is a little lighter than mine.
That's okay.
But it's still brother love. We come in many different shades, and we also come in with many different school of thoughts, different theologies, works. And to be totally honest, they all originated from here. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I was just talking to somebody just recently, and they wanted to get on the show. It's a she. It's my cousin from Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay.
Man, I'm going to show you the link on her stuff on Facebook, man.
All right.
Her thoughts are so out there on religion, and but she's so aggressive with the spirituality and stuff. You can see it on Facebook. I'm like, wow, man, that's my blood cousin, right?
Yeah.
I said, we got to get her on the show, right? And then I talked to her, and she was like, I don't think people gonna like what I'm saying. I said, no, it ain't called Black Thought Tap Dance.
Right.
It ain't called Black Thought bootlick and front like you believe and you down with what everybody is saying.
Exactly.
We want to put forth different theologies that we as a people have so we won't leave nothing out. She's so spiritual, bruh. She's so conscious about religion. Some of the stuff, man, like if you're a Christian, you be like, oh, Lord have mercy. You be like, oh my gosh, she's going straight to hell with some of the stuff she's saying, but it's not hating.
Right.
It's thoughts. It's
Right.
straight up thoughts, like straight thought provoking. Like this is somebody need to hear. So that's what the Black Thought Live is all about. So if you selling something, if you sharing something, and it comes from our perspective, and when I say our, I'm talking about us as a people all together.
Yes, sir.
We want you on the show. Call out somebody, man. Tell somebody, not in particular, but how we need different voices to be heard.
Oh man, there's so many people that like to just what we call chop it up.
Right.
You know, you get together in a group and you start spewing and spitting and chopping it up, and it's like eye-opening for so many people to come together and share different views. But when it comes to, you getting on the platform or you standing up in the open and sharing those views, a lot of people want to withdraw because a lot of times when you share your views, that put a target on your back. But I say if I can reach one person and change one person's lives and turn one person's life around and get them to thinking in another way that they might not even have opened their mind up to, then that's worth it. So I say anybody that want to come on the show, hey, you only live once.
Hey, man, what was that thing in closing, man? we was talking on the phone. You was telling me I told you something way back down in the day about knowledge, about sharing.
Oh,
the
yes,
shit.
yes, sir.
So bring that up while you're.
Oh man, I was telling my brother here that he is actually really one of my role models because he gave me some good information back in the day when we worked together. And he said, Brother Sash, anytime you have any information, any knowledge that can help one of your brothers and sisters, and you don't give it to them and you hold it to yourself, that is a sin. When he said it, it sunk down in my mind and it's always stuck with me. Anytime you have any knowledge or any information that could uplift one of your brothers and sisters and you keep it to yourself, that is a sin. Because we are all here together as one
That's right, brother.
to rise each other up.
Give it up for my man Sash Money, man.
All right,
I didn't even know he remembered that.
Yes,
I
sir.
said that stuff, this brother had to be 21, 22.
Yeah, 22.
Something like that, man. But look, man, we appreciate you coming to the show. We definitely appreciate you taking time out of your time to deal with the children, with the youth. And I'm proud to know that somebody's son is going to be well taken care of in this hot month of August, man.
Yes, sir.
Why August in Akron? I don't know. Why put no pads on them babies? And August, Jerry curl juice in my eye. I remember all that.
man.
What was that about? But I just want to say, man, I really appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to open up the floodgates for you.
Yes, sir.
Anytime you want to come through, as you say, chop it up. We call it cipher, and you already know.
Yes, sir.
And bring you in, man. Another recurring invitation. I'm only doing invitations to people that I know have some proper propaganda or some righteous rhetoric to help out for the cause Black Thought Live. Listen, man, if you want to promote your style, give us a call, man, or check us out at Mecca Media 360 at yahoo.com. It's your boy Hiram Akeem. Somebody better film me before they kill me, y'all.